World News, June 27th. Iran says nuclear facilities suffered heavy damage. Mr. Easter. Netanyahu asserts that victory over Iran opens up opportunities for peace. Iran's nuclear facilities suffered serious damage. Israel once considered eliminating Mr. Khamenei. Are the outstanding world news on the morning of June 27. Mr. Netanyahu victory over Iran opens up opportunities for peace. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced on June 26 that victory over Iran is creating opportunities to expand peace agreements, and Israel cannot afford to waste time, according to Reuters. In addition to rescuing hostages and defeating Hamas, this is an opportunity that we cannot miss. We cannot waste even a single day, he said. Israeli media reported that Mr. Netanyahu and President Trump agreed over the phone to end the war in Gaza soon, possibly within the next 2 weeks. Under a proposal under discussion, Israel would support a two-state solution with Palestine if the Palestinian Authority reforms and expand the Abraham Accords to include Saudi Arabia and Syria. Iranian Foreign Minister. Nuclear facilities suffered serious damage. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said on June 27 that the country's nuclear facilities had suffered severe damage in the 12-day war with Israel, adding that Tehran was assessing the full impact of the conflict. Experts from the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran are conducting a detailed assessment of the extent of the damage, Araghchi said on state television. Currently, the issue of compensation for the damage has been placed at the top of the country's diplomatic agenda. The damage is serious, and the technical assessment and political decision are being carried out in parallel. Araghchi's statement came after President Trump repeatedly claimed that U.S. airstrikes in support of Israel had obliterated Iran's nuclear facilities. Israel considered assassinating Khamenei. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said on June 26 that Tel Aviv was ready to kill Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, if given the chance during the 12-day war between the two countries. I expected that if Khamenei appeared in Israel's sights, we would take action, Katz told Kim Public Television. However, according to Katz, Khamenei had hidden deep underground and cut off contact with the newly appointed military commanders who replaced those killed by Israel, making the plan impossible to carry out. Throughout the campaign, both Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and U.S. President Donald Trump have repeatedly hinted that Khamenei's life could be in danger, and that regime change in Iran is highly likely. The fighting between the two countries ended on June 24th with a U.S. brokered ceasefire. US grants $30 million to controversial aid group in Gaza. The U.S. State Department confirmed on June 26 that it had approved the first $30 million in funding for the Gaza Humanitarian Fund, GHF, marking the first time Washington has provided financial support to the relief organization amid a severe humanitarian crisis in Gaza. State Department spokesman Tommy Pigott called it the latest step in President Trump and Secretary Rubio's efforts for peace. The GHF began operating in late May, working with the Israeli military and armed U.S. contractors to bring relief supplies into Gaza and distribute them at designated safe locations. However, major aid agencies and the United Nations have refused to cooperate with GHF, arguing that the fund lacks neutrality when it comes to violence. Since Israel lifted its 11-week aid blockade on May 19th, more than 400 Palestinians have died trying to access aid from both GHF and the United Nations.